By Wednesday at midnight, I had taken my boyfriend into A&E, and he's been there ever since. My piece in Stylist got published today. This week had been a total fucking write-off. I'm largely doing this so that I don't overwork my way through stress and anxiety. And I'm really struggling to like switch off. I'm feeling quite like stressed. Oh hi, I'm Jo, and after 10 years and 2 breakdowns in corporate, I realised that life was just too short to waste it working all the time. So now I'm a business coach who helps other people realise that too. This week was full of some pretty extreme highs and lows, so come along with me. So I got back from my solo retreat on Wednesday evening, and then by Wednesday at midnight I had taken my boyfriend into A&E, and he's been there ever since. And now it's the following Monday, which is Bank Holiday Monday. So yeah, I've cleared my diary of work stuff for this week, and yeah, that's where I'm at. Thankfully as well, the garden is gorgeous. These are my pride and joy David Austin roses that I planted and are doing really well. So each day I'm just coming out to look at my garden, really. I've also received my Farmer Gracie dahlia tubers, so in the next few days I'm going to plant those out. I need to get some pots. So yeah, these are the things, not that are occupying my mind, but that I'm just doing a little bit of during this time. Hello. So, in a very much swings and roundabouts week, you won't know this, but my piece in Stylist got published today. Basically, I pitched to Stylist at the end of last year for a column or a series that they have called Learn From My Mistakes. I was commissioned to write it, I wrote it, the person who commissioned me got made redundant, and then I followed up with someone else and didn't hear, and anyway, I logged onto my emails yesterday very briefly before going to the hospital, and I had an email from the features editor to say that my piece was going live today. So that's really cool. I'll leave a little screenshot of it here on the screen, and I'll put the link in the description if you want to go read it. Basically, it's my story of how I worked myself into 2 breakdowns by the time I was 31, and like the fact that, you know, that taught me that life is just too short to waste it working all the time. So yeah, quite a swings and roundabouts week. And I'm also going to meet some friends for lunch today before I go to the hospital. It's been in the diary for ages, and I think it would do me a lot of good. Had my gorgeous lunch with my friends, and off I go to the hospital. It might be that he can come home today. He's hoping, if not today, then hopefully tomorrow. My boyfriend is now home from hospital, but he's still in a pretty bad way. So I am not seeing clients for the rest of the week. I'm going to see how, it's Thursday today, I'm going to see how things feel next week. And what I'll probably do is basically have like reduced client hours. I see one-to-one clients on a Tuesday and a Thursday, and I run my group program on a Wednesday. So that means I'll have like, I think I've got 2 calls in the diary Tuesday, 2 Thursday, and then on Wednesday I'm online with my group program. And at the moment that feels doable, but I'm gonna see how I feel like over the next few days and update clients. But today I do want to use my brain a little bit, so I'm going to try and finish editing my vlog of my solo retreat, which you would have already seen. And that's about it, really. So this is why I'm not working in the last like 5 minutes. We've had a call from the specialist to book in some appointments. I've had someone comment something mean on my Stylist reel, and it's hammered out with rain, so I had to get the washing in. And that's it. That's my brain power done. I have not got the brain power for full work at the moment, and that's okay. So my boyfriend is home now. He's still being treated for everything that's gone on. And I'm really struggling to like switch off. I'm feeling quite like stressed. And I know from being really ill with my mental health in the past that I can use work as like a coping mechanism or a kind of thing to fall into, and I don't want to do that. So I am gonna go to the garden centre, gonna pick up some pots and pick up some compost because I need to pot up my dahlias and pot on the cosmos seeds I've been growing. So I'm gonna do that and then see if I can fall into a book, because reading is a really big, like, not coping mechanism, but it's like a really helpful thing for me. But often when I'm stressed or anxious, I struggle to read. So I could go to the garden centre and then go home and try and read. I kind of forgot it was Saturday and sunny, and so the whole world wants to go to the garden centre. Oh, hello, Chin. Marker. Look at these guys. I'm very happy because they've got a pot recycling bank here. So basically I've got all my pots, my dahlias, for free. Phenomenal. It's so cute. Look who's here to greet me as I got home. Little Mimus. Hi, Mimus. Yeah, these need potting up. So we've got dahlias and cosmos that need potting, and very old seed trays. And yes, I'm doing your magic. First up, I'm going to do my cosmos because they've been on my windowsill and they're very leggy, so they need potting. So because these are really leggy, I've like planted them right up to the first leaves. I really don't know why I'm explaining this, because I'm not running a gardening channel. I'm largely doing this so that I don't overwork my way through stress and anxiety. I also get pretty plants. They're run out of these pots, so I'm just going to put loads in here. That'll be fine, sure. Okay, sure, I went a bit crazy on the cosmos and I don't know where I'm gonna store them, but I'm not working, so great. In all seriousness, I would never work on a weekend, but I know that, like I said, work can be a bit of a coping mechanism, well, a lot of a coping mechanism for me for anxiety and stress, and so I'm really being really aware of that and trying to like lean into the stuff that isn't work, that I enjoy, that will like help keep me on the straight and narrow and balanced while life is lifing. Okay, now it's time for the big guns, the big ones. People are always like, oh, Xavier's so hard to go. So let's see. I mean, they look insane. They also look dead. So I don't think I'm going to give too many pots to the Tesco ones. Might leave a bit of soil in there. Yeah, I don't really want to give too much space to the Tesco ones in case they will die. Okay, maybe this is just how they look. Because look, that's like living. Okay, I'm putting 3 in one pot. I'm sure that'll be fine. Well, it's not. That's what I'm doing. Well, it started raining, so you had to go inside, but all dahlias potted, all cosmos potted, all watered. Now just the small issue of figuring out where to house them inside until mid-May. Figure that out later. So, it's Monday. I've now been off for 2 weeks. So the first week I was off, I booked it as a holiday. I was on my solo retreat, which you would have seen the video of. And then when I got back, I had to take my boyfriend to A&E and then he was there for a week. So last week, don't mind playing with my blueberries. Last week I just took off as needing to be off because my boyfriend was ill. And so I thought I would like share a bit about how and why I did that, because I hear so much from my clients and from like just people that, oh, how do you take time off when you work for yourself or when you're freelance, and like if I don't work I don't earn. And that just isn't the case for me, because I've built my business so that isn't the case. So I have one-to-one coaching clients, I have my group coaching program, and then I do some like corporate coaching as well. And all of those people are on payment plans, so unless they've paid in one lump. So what that means is whether I coach them last week or not, their payment plan is still ongoing. So me taking time off doesn't affect my income. Obviously I'm not taking time off like, okay, I'm not going to be working for the next 3 months and you're going to pay me anyway. I don't take time off. I'm not a dick about it. But it meant I could say to my clients last week, look, this has happened, I'm not going to be working this week. And also because, again, of the infrastructure that I've set up in my business, I have a client management system called Paperbell. And so I could say to them, if you could head to your client area in Paperbell, then you can reschedule your sessions yourself. And also I don't work with dicks. Like, if you've seen any of my content on Instagram, you'll know that like assholes don't want to work with me because they know they're going to get short shrift. So everyone was obviously really lovely about it. So I'm going to email my clients this morning to say that, basically I said to them last week, I'll let you know by Monday like what next week and onwards is going to look like, because I didn't know how long my boyfriend would be in hospital, like what his recovery would look like. So I'm going to email them today and say that I'm going to be back working this week, but I'll be working less than usual. So like, bear with me in terms of getting back to you, but your sessions are on. And then, yeah, I'm just going to see how it goes. I think So I have coaching clients on a Tuesday and a Thursday, and my group program that I coach in on a Wednesday, and my max capacity is 2 client sessions a day on a Tuesday and a Thursday, and that's what I've got this week. So I'm going to do that tomorrow and see how I feel. And then Wednesday will be fine because it's all online, and my boyfriend has an appointment at the hospital on Wednesday, so I'm going to see how that feels. But yeah, other than my coaching clients and my group program, I'm not going to commit to doing anything this week. So I was supposed to be interviewed on a podcast today, and I've rescheduled that. I've been like approached to do other things, and I've just said like I can't. So yeah, I'm going to do like just what needs to be done this week and see how that feels. I am going to play with iMovie today because I was trying to edit my videos in Premiere Pro, and I just think it's too good for what I need. It's too like complex and precise. I just want like, you know, text to appear and a typewriter noise to come up. So I'm going to try a bit of that today. And I've got a call in a minute with my friend Hannah, who runs a business called High Communications, or HI Communications, who I work with to help me plan my content strategy. So I'm basically having like a mini session with her in 4 minutes, just to have a think about my content for the next week or two, because I don't want to feel like I'm totally abandoning my content and my business, because that's the main way that I market my business. And I think if I do that, if I do stop creating content, it will stress me out. And I want to create content that is strategic and towards a goal. But I don't want to, normally we'd have a call and plan like my whole month's worth of content. We're not going to do that. We're going to think about this week and maybe a bit of next week, just so I can feel like I'm still promoting my business strategically without having to put loads and loads of effort and time and thought into it. And if you're interested in how I create and plan content, then I could talk about that in another video if you like. So yeah, that's my plan. Okay, my one-to-ones have gone down. Again, what you just said makes me question whether that is true, because gently question that, because you're assuming it's because the prices have changed, but also your focus is split in so many different ways. Amazing. So this week has been a total fucking write-off. I've managed 1 call out of 5 because I've had a migraine for 3 days. Maybe that's just what happens after a stressful time. Anyway, I'm going to meet some business friends for lunch now, and I believe I may be migraine-free. Like, how the hell do you take time off when you work for yourself? Which for me is like, you just do it, but for many people they think that that's mad. I did say this week had been a total fucking write-off. And that is how it's felt. I have had to move a lot of client calls. I've not really been at my desk or at my laptop much. But I did create content for the week. I had 1 client call. I have like mapped out a new program that I'm hosting on boundaries that's going to start at the end of May, and the freebie for that, and I've set up the waitlist, and so like, I actually have done quite a lot of stuff. But yeah, I wanted to share a bit about this time because like one of the reasons I set up my business was to allow for life to happen. And when I first set up my business, I thought that was like my mental health, because I'd worked myself into breakdown, as you will see in Stylist, in my corporate job. But obviously this time it was my boyfriend's health and mine, because I then ended up having a migraine all week. And yeah, this time has really shown me that I have done that well. Like, I don't have to be at work to earn. My clients' payment plans still keep rolling, even if I have to move some of their calls, or if I can't be at my desk. So yeah, that feels good. And I'm migraine free today, which feels fucking amazing. But yeah, I wanted to share some of this time because I hear so often, if I don't work, I don't earn. Bank holidays don't exist for freelancers. Like, I can't take time off when I'm sick. And you can. You just have to make sure that your business model and your boundaries allow for that. Like, if you charge by the hour and there are some hours that you can't work, yes, you won't earn. So don't charge by the hour. Charge based on outputs and outcomes. And then it doesn't matter how and when, how long it takes you to do something or when you do it. So I can talk a bit more about that in a future video if you'd be interested. Or yeah, if you have any questions about how I've taken time off, like the business logistics of it, just leave them in the comments. But thanks for watching. This is the level of professionalism you will come to see from me in these vlogs. Finishing the vlog in my pyjamas. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll be back with another video soon.